Hello my friends, welcome to Home and Garden. Can you believe it? It's almost end of May 2023. But it's not the end of our tour because today it is a day for me to show you a full backyard garden tour. Okay, so are you ready to see my backyard garden? So here we go. So welcome to my backyard garden. This is actually the side of my garden and I do have all this phlox that's planted on the side of the yard, and this is all the upright phlox. I do have also that planter that I have, the English ivy, some geranium over here. So this is the view when you're looking and coming from the side gate, and this is the center of my garden. So there is a three-way that you can go to the back side of my backyard, and this is the first way. This is the first pathway, and then you can go around all the way here, and the second pathway is actually behind this water fountain. The third one, this is a slope garden, so that's another pathway, and you can also go around towards to the second pathway and then coming towards to the first pathway over here. So here I do have my first patty cover. It's actually a little lower than the one on the deck. So I have two patty cover on the deck and also here on this lower level of the backyard. So let's start first with this first pathway. So this white flowers that you are looking right now, that is the beauty bush. So I have hydrangeas next to it. I have the bamboo plant in the pot. I mirrored them together with the hydrangea hostas. I have hydrangea on the ground, hydrangea on the pot, and this is the pergola that I have planted a clematis on it. And let me just give you a quick view on how they're doing. And I'm going to do a separate video about all the clematis that I have on my garden. You see how beautiful they are? Okay, walking towards the pergola, this is the entrance of this pathway. I have the alum roots that I use it as a border, hydrangeas as well, and that's the up close flowers of the beauty bush. They're very scented actually. So there you go. I have some plants in the pots, and here is the first pathway, and this is actually my shade garden area. So here I have some firewoods, and I have this old shed that we put it here so it will cover the firewoods. So this is actually the very back of my garden. So I have this garden over here. This is the rose garden, and I'm going to give you a view later on when we are standing towards this retaining wall over here, so we can see the full view of the rose garden. But right now I'm just giving you the tour on how the very back of my garden looks like. And so that is the rose garden. I have all the clematis, the cherry plum over here. I have clematis on this side. This is all my DIY planters that I put some ice plant and primroses. And there is my hydrangea on the pot. This is the nice trellis for the clematis. Then there's more rhodie, and that's the beautiful rhodie on the top of my garden. So towards here, again, this is the first path. This is all connected path that you can access the different side of my garden. And I also add this pergola here that I put some clematis and some other vine flowers. I have also the climbing rose in here and more roses on this side. So that's how it looked like in the very back of my garden. And let's just continue and get a quick tour on the rose garden. Okay, so let's check the rose garden, which is they're about to bloom already. This is all the white roses that I have planted on this side of the backyard, and I have the climbing roses in here, more rose, and here is the entrance of this rose garden. So we put the pergola, and here's the other side of my rose garden. More roses in here. That's a wood carved bear. Roses and azalea, and I have this cherry blossom. It's already done blooming. This is all my red roses, white roses also, and that is my clematis. I'm going to also do a separate video for the collection of the clematis that I have in my yard. Rose also, so you have to make sure you subscribe to my channel so you will be updated and hit your notification bell. And going back towards this side of the rose garden, actually this side before is just all my compost, all my old leaves, the old leaves that we have that we just cut it out from the trees, and also other junk stuff that we have, we just like put it here so they become compost, so the soil is really healthy for the plant. So here's more of my rose garden. So that is the very back of my backyard, and this pathway over here is the middle pathway, but I'm just going to go back to this side where we started. So I want you to see the connection of all my pathway, and towards to this pathway, which is I have all these firewoods in here, we are going back to the shade garden area, and this is how it looked like from the very end of the backyard. And we put this flagstone that really looks nice. And over here is towards the gate where we started a while ago. Okay, I'm going to give you a view from here so you can see the middle part of the garden. This is the center of my main garden, and I have some seedlings over here, some big pots that I don't even have any plants yet. I have the tulips, but they're already done blooming. So there is my rhodie still blooming, and then going towards the second pathway, so I have the fountain in here, and here is the second pathway that I also have this pergola. It's a wood pergola that I have the clematis, which is, that's the flower of it, and they're so beautiful. And I have also the other plants, the other vine that's planted, which is the trumpet vine. And here's the second pathway. So I'm just going to give you a little walk on that side so you'll see and how we connect the pathway from the first pathway towards to this pergola, the white pergola. So here we go. So I have all this bleeding heart, that trellis over here, that is actually also clematis, and they have a dark red bloom. Right now they're still under flower buds. So towards here is the pathway. I have all these other plants I planted in these pots, which is roses and hostas, primroses, rhodies, succulents, lilies, and there's another red bloom rhodie. And from here, again, this is the middle pathway. Over here, you can see the center of the garden. So still in the middle pathway, from here, you can still see this side of the garden, which is I call the secret garden. So I have all these hydrangeas, I have the rhodin here, lilies, and other potted plants that I put it in this as a divider from the pathway, and also two different sides of my garden. This is again the secret garden, and next to it is actually that is my flower cut garden. And then I have all my fruit trees, the lilac over here, and vegetable garden at the very bottom. So we are going to go there later on and check it out. So this is the first pathway, the very back of the pathway, the rose garden, center garden. This is the second pathway. So I'm just giving you a view that these pathways are all connected. So here is again the other pathway, the very back, that's all connected, that you can walk around towards the third pathway and going to the second pathway to the first pathway. So I'm going to give you the next pathway, which is the last pathway that we can check it out with the other plants. And again, walking towards the second pathway, we're still seeing this beautiful rhodie. Very nice. And I have this foxglove over here. They're not blooming yet. They're about to. And then here, walking towards the second pathway. Then going out from this trellis, the wood trellis or pergola, I have here the third pathway. So you can see it. I have a videos that I've showed all my hellebores and my other plants on this side. I also have this fountain. That's the deck. And towards here, I have the peace lily. I also put some bird bath on this side and some hydrangeas on the pots. So walking here, lilac is already done blooming. So that's the pathway that you can go around and check all my fruit trees and all my vegetable on that side. So here is another garden that I created, which is again I call my secret garden. So I have the lilies in here about to bloom as well. I put some ferns, clematis on this trellis, and all my primroses, which is done blooming, hydrangeas, and then this one that looks like that, that's the rhododendron. And more rhodie here, hydrangeas on this side, and I just put some metal bench in here, so when I'm done gardening and I just like sit down and relax, so I'm just gonna give you a quick walk. This is just a pathway that I made out of um, stone that's actually made for like a border, but I just use it as a stepping stone so that I have like a circle pathway that will guide you to walk around this primroses. So I have primroses in the pots, and that is the vegetable garden, and we will check it out later on. So I have some daylilies that I transplant on this side next actually to the fountain. When I planted it, it's not doing good on that side, it's just covering. So that's my beautiful daylily, and I'm so excited to show it to you when they start blooming. And then this is the view of my secret garden that needs to still improve. I just started this project last year and just keep adding plants that can grow in here. I actually got my propagated ice plant and all my primroses that I need to actually divide and plant on the other area of my garden. And this one, I just leave it like rusty look. It looks so beautiful. It looks like a country garden. Okay, since I promised you that I'm going to give you a full tour of my backyard, this is actually the bottom side of my house, the back gate. And so here are all my azalea tree, which is I'm going to do a separate video on that too as well. This is all my astilbe, and they have white bloom. I do have all this lavender in here, and look at this beautiful azalea. And then more astilbe primroses on the bottom, and that black planter is actually an old tires that we made as a planter for the astilbe. And this astilbe is about to bloom soon. And here is the Japanese maple. This is actually the lilac tree. They are done blooming. A little bench that I did and painted as the same color as the lilac flower. And here, this pathway is actually, we put gravel in here, and I have issues of growing a lot of weeds. So hopefully in the future we can do this project and make it like just put like bricks on it, pavers maybe on this side, but right now I just gonna keep it like that because I still need to save money to do that project because that is a big project. I do have all this fruit trees in here, so beside from here I have also this roses. Is actually climbing roses. They're about to bloom as well, and some of them they already bloom. And there's another beautiful flower. Watch my next video. It will be about all the roses that I have in this garden. So continuing to our pathway, this is the view from the bottom of the third pathway that I am showing to you a while ago. So here you can walk towards to the center, towards going to the house, second pathway, and then the first pathway. So this is a little slope, but I add some plants that really adding some beauty and separate the different kind of variety of plants. And I do have some ferns in here. So this is some roses in here, more ferns, daylilies, and here is the other view for the side garden where I have all the astilbe, lilac. Then walking towards to this side, this is my cherry tree, grapes, and all my vegetables that I have in here, and a lot of irises and cocosmea. So I have this wood bench that I just put it here. So I've tried to put a lot of seating area. So when I'm doing some stuff in the backyard, I just want to rest for a while and sit on this bench that I did. So I have also put it on the middle of the secret garden. So here I am actually sitting next to the cherry, the Rainier cherry tree, this one, and sitting on this bench. This is the view of my house and the garden, and that's the deck, and that's the pathway that you can go to the second pathway and then also to the first one. So I have all of this as my vegetable garden. So all of this on the bottom of the secret garden, I have all my cut flowers. This is all the other plants that I have here, the daisies, lilies, and columbine. I have geranium and also more hydrangeas and daylilies, primroses, rebecca, and here this is also a rhodie. So this is a quick look of my vegetable garden. That's the grapes, and I have only boxes or raised bed for my vegetable garden. So just like a quick look, I have the potatoes, the strawberries, persimmon, the green peas, and more strawberries, rhubarb, and that's what my vegetable garden look like. That needs still need to be improved. Has the fig tree, and then walking here, this is already the back side of my garden. So this is my compost bins. All of this, I have like 3 compost bins. This is still all the fruit trees. I have the peach and the plum, and then here are more daylilies and hydrangea on the side. And let's check it out. The second view, which is I'm going to give you a tour on the middle or the center part of the garden, so you can see from there on how it looked like from the top to the bottom. Just a quick look onto this one. This one I just did it actually early last year, and I have all this upright irises, and they're so beautiful. And that's how my backyard look like. So starting from this side again, this is my first level patio cover, and let's take a look onto this side, the upper level of my backyard. And there is the lower level of the backyard. So I am standing next to this rhodie and giving you a quick view on how this lower level garden that I made. Again, this garden before is just all my compost and all the old branches that we remove it from the old trees when we cut them and clear this area. So all of this is just all dirt like 2 years ago. So you can see all these roses in here. I just planted like last summer, and actually they're not really that bushy red. They're just starting to survive, and this is their second year. So I again put this 2 cherry tree. This is actually the pink one and the white one. So this one, just to cover a little bit on this firewood area, I just add this trellis for the clematis, and then more metal trellis in here, and I add this purple clematis, and I actually add this metal frame or metal fence just to support all my roses in this side and also so they're not really like going to cover, or they have a support so they don't have to break their branches. So I just add that, and also it looks nice. So again, that's the view of my lower level backyard garden. So I am on the very far side of the shade loving plants, the shade garden, and this is the view. When you're looking from here, this is what the view. Okay, let me just give you a tour on this side of the garden. I have all these potted plants. This is hydrangeas and primroses, hostas. I have the snapdragon on this side that's planted actually in this big pot. So from this side, giving you a quick turnaround view. And that's already towards the side of the side garden. I also add a sitting area on this side and add this geranium roses in the pots. I have this different kind of plants that planted in this big pot. So snapdragon's doing very good. And there is a tiny or small size fountain that hummingbirds likes to drink water in that, and they're swimming. And I also have this climbing rose in here. I think there's already a bloom that I can show it to you. I have small pots and decoration with succulents. So I am taking this video already on the upper deck, the backyard deck, and that is the view of my upper side of my backyard. And from here, you can see everything. That is my secret garden, flower cut garden, my vegetable garden, my fruit trees, and this is the pathway, the slope pathway. And then here's another view on the bottom side of the left side of my house. So that's all my azalea, astilbe, Japanese maple, lilac, roses, climbing roses. And I hope this pathway will be done hopefully by next year. Hopefully, I'm wishing, because it's gonna be really so nice when all this dirt. If I have an issue, there's a lot of weeds in here, and I want to put some pavers in it. Oh, and hopefully it's soon. So that big bush that you're looking right now, that's a rhododendron. That's actually already my neighbor. And I have this lilac in here. My other plants that I have, the roses, vegetable garden, fruit trees, and that is the pathway towards the connection of the other pathway towards the rose garden, the middle pathway. This is the third pathway that I'm showing to you a while ago. That's all my cut flower garden. And from this deck, this is what the view. It's not a big yard, but at least there's a personality in it. I just add the way that I decorate them, and also of course the plants that already have it, so I just replant them, organize them. You can do that in your garden as well, and show your personality and how you actually like to decorate them. And I do like to repurpose other stuff that I can use and add beauty in my garden. So I actually reuse or use the old bike of my kids and add it as my decoration on my garden, and also add some planters in it. I actually, it's on here and one on that side. I have the old bike. So that's the view of my garden. I can do another video just to update you when all these beautiful flowers, especially in this flower garden, when they have all this bloom. They have right now, they're all just look green on the screen, but when they bloom, especially all the daisies, this is a row of daisies, and then the daylilies, I have all daylilies in here. Both side of the pathway are daylilies, and I love to show that to you. You'll see a lot of different color on this side. Looks like there's no flowers yet. Um, Beside from this rhodie, you can see it right away, but you will see all of this. They have all bloom. So I will update you on that. Like I said, if you want to be updated, you can subscribe to my channel, hit your notification bell, and also share it to your friends, to your loved ones, so they can also see my garden, and maybe also give them a tips on how to take care of your yard and combine different flowers, and how to replant, propagate, and make a plants that needs to be together and combine and make a beautiful garden like my garden. So that's the end of our video for our backyard tour, but we are not done yet because we still have a lot of videos to show you about the other project that I have it on my garden. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe, and also hit your notification bell so you will be updated to all the new videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Take care.